Do you currently feel alone and lonely? Do you crave and desire an intimate relationship? Well, Neville Goddard used to talk about this in his lectures all the time. He will give the example of feeling an imaginary wedding ring on your hand and walking around under the assumption that you're happily married, even though you might not know anyone that is interested in marrying you at this time. Well, basically, this is something I've experimented with myself throughout the years, though I do admit currently I don't have any desire to be married. So you could say I'm just married to my work that I'm doing in life, but it can still be beneficial for people to hear about it. Basically, what I discovered is every time when I did desire to have a relationship and I didn't know necessarily any woman that would be interested, it was that I caught the mood. I catch the mood of my fulfilled desire all over again. Now, what sort of mood would you be in if you were in a good relationship? Well, I think the best trick to use here is to feel wanted. This is something Neville Goddard would talk about as well. If you don't feel wanted, well then you might not ever meet anyone that is interested in you, that really wants you by their side, right? So this is what I subconsciously always did. I would start to feel like I was wanted, and then all sorts of women would show up over time that showed interest in wanting to date me, and I could, go on a date with them. Sometimes, of course, it didn't really went as well as I would like, because then I realized maybe they're not really my type after all, but at least I got that part going. Yet there's enough people out there who are currently very alone and lonely, and they desire to have a partner in life, but they just can't seem to find anyone that is interested, and they feel stuck. Well, again, the first thing I suggest you do is start feeling that you're wanted. You have to, it sounds weird maybe at first, but you really have to reach that point that you can feel that you would be a good partner for somebody else. Like that you would be able to be romantic and intimate in an attractive way. That's exactly what I used to do myself every time I desired to have a relationship, for the time being that is. Because currently I don't have really specific desires on the matter, but it did work for me. So if you're feeling alone and lonely, you gotta shift your consciousness away from that feeling and start imagining how you would feel if you were in a great, wonderful relationship right now. You don't know where the person is gonna come from. The beautiful part about this day and age is that they can come from all over the place. They can show up online, on your social media profiles, or you can meet them on the street, or maybe in a different country altogether. You see, the world has shrunk. We're in connection with everything almost, all over the planet. The way to attract a wonderful relationship into your life, if that is what you desire, is by becoming clear and making it clear for yourself what sort of relationship you would prefer to have. What sort of character traits would you admire in a potential partner? And as you start zooming in on that, you start to drift away from that feeling of loneliness and feeling alone, and you start to magnetize yourself from within consciousness to the concept of actually having a partner in your life. They will show up. They will be attracted to you. You will start to become compelled to perhaps do all sorts of activities that you're currently not involved in, but those activities will ultimately bring you that partner. I have actual proof of this, and it worked for me in the past, and I know it can work even now if I wanted to. But you see, I'm not really interested that much in it, but it's still an important point for people to know, that this is what they can do for themselves, if that is what they want. So I hope you take it to heart, and take it serious, and consider the points very well. If you want a wonderful relationship in your life, you have to start feeling as if it already occurred. You have to move your consciousness away from loneliness and start to feel companionship within your very self, the joy of companionship, the certainty that you're attractive to others. And then as you keep doing that, you will start to notice people start to respond to you differently, and all sorts of different people will start to show up in your life that can actually add something to it. And you no longer have to feel alone and lonely. You'll have fulfilled your desire, because that is what it's all about. Anyways, that's all I had to say for this inspirational video. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing to receive new inspirational videos on a regular basis. And with that being said, dear viewer, never forget that we are the dreamers.